Here we are, two champions representing their respective conferences, both vying to capture football's ultimate prize. The site, New Orleans, home to Super Bowl 59. The Big Easy, where they come from all over to see their gladiators collide for one last time.
Man, I've been waiting so long.
Eagles, Chiefs. Let's get ready for football talk.
Good Super Bowl Sunday morning. Welcome again to Football Talk Live, presented by Zeno. I'm the boy, Shawn Xavier, alongside the homie DaStoreytella, and I guess he wants to be known as G Breezy, the statistician. Welcome again for a Super Bowl edition. Welcome back, folks. Thank you. And to get some things out of the way, make sure you always follow us on Instagram and Facebook at the Hot Seat Podcast. Whenever it wants to pull up at some point. Maybe not. There we go. Like and subscribe on the Hot Seat Podcast on YouTube. It's going across the ticker. It threw me all off this morning. Different setup than the regular podcast thing, man. How are we doing, guys? How are we doing? How are we feeling?
You got it, Gary.
I'm good. Just another day. I know it's Super Bowl Sunday, but no dog in the fight, so we ain't really pressed about either way. Just want a good game. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about the halftime show, but we're going to see what we're going to see and just have some fun and some food.
I am probably as hyped about the halftime show as I am for the game, to be very honest with you. And I can't tell you no, I felt like that for the Dre one too. So as hyped for the halftime show as far as for the game. Just want a close game, same way that Gary just said it. Want to see a couple people shine. I'm over here looking at some of these bets, and I'm like,
we're gonna get to that too.
It's pretty tight, so we'll get there. But I'm hyped, man. Up here with the fam up in Jersey, so gonna be a good time.
I will say I was more hyped for last year's halftime show. That Usher performance, I don't know if that can be beat. Just saying.
Ooh.
We'll see. We're gonna see about that. That was
our album afterwards, like that. His album was also a banger that got released right after that too. So
yeah. And he was skating in rain, right? Wasn't it raining? And he was skating. Yeah, that was impressive.
He skates better than people walk. And that's fact.
Facts.
And at the same time, so it's kind of a little disrespectful. But hey, do what you do. You're Usher.
The only reason I can't put the Usher performance up there is because of what JD was wearing. But go ahead though.
True story, facts. True story.
That brought it down a little bit.
Yikes.
I mean, he can't control his people, though. You know?
I'm not hyped, man. Like I thought, I know why I'm not as hyped because I used so much energy last few weeks. I'm tired, brother. I'm tired. I am exhausted. Like it was so much energy used up, and then the way it all came crashing down in that game. I'm like, damn. All right. All I got is, and I've been getting trolled too. So I am the biggest Chiefs fan today. And just because
that's how we go with it.
Yeah, I am. Because
you're not the guy to go, hey, at least we lost to a team that won the championship. You're not that guy. You're like, let them go down. Okay, just see.
We're not doing that.
Just see.
I've been getting trolled all week. And I've been respectful to my, my compadres and whatnot, meaning the Eagles and whatnot. And I was like, cool. I saluted them. Cool, whatever. And, if you remember all season, I ain't really talk bad, but I've been getting, that's all right, fair. Got something for your ass. So now we're going to get to it, but don't let it go the other way. Man, you thought I was insufferable. My own team winning. If they lose, I'm going to be a whole asshole. And I might have put money up too.
But can you be that though?
I can't.
Can you be that? Like, they didn't only beat y'all, bro. Like, can you really sit back and no matter how this turns out?
Yeah, maybe so. I'll find a way to flip it. I'm fine to flip.
I got you.
I'm getting my job. No,
We'll get there.
I'm kidding, man. So let's. It's going to be a fun day, man. Super Bowl 59. It's again a holiday, as in the day after tomorrow should be a holiday. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, it should be off. Definitely should be off. So it's going to be fun either way. I am excited for the halftime show, especially if there's any surprises. Which, I know you got SZA, but I wonder who else might pop up. Well, we're gonna see. Before we get to all that though, let's talk about I guess some of the pregame stuff going into Super Bowl weekend. You have all the award shows and stuff like that. So let's jump right into, it's okay with you guys, the NFL honors. Did you guys watch it, or did you just get like the highlights of it, or how'd you feel about that whole thing?
I watched most of it.
Okay,
I watched most of it. How about you, Gary?
Alerts. Actually, I didn't forget it was on, but then I forgot it was on. Like I knew it was coming up that day, and then when the time came for it, I was into something else, and I was like, "Oh, who won this one? Oh, okay, got you." That's about it.
I watched it, and I didn't like, and you know what? And this is probably because everything on there. I didn't realize that Snoop was hosting it. So he hosted the show. He came out. He started it.
Jay. Freaking Jay, man. What are we doing? Basketball talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey, look. The NBA tried it. They tried it. They tried to step in to the NFL's lane and take some, media away from the NFL. They was like, nope. And they took that shit back. Watching and they did that by, what they did for the MVP. But anyway, watching it, and they had Snoop doing like, the monologue, which is clearly written. And that shit was so off-putting. It was like corny. It wasn't funny. It was more like you was trying, like you were trying too hard for him to be a rapper. I feel like you should have memorized everything that they wrote so it would have came off more naturally. But you can tell it's like I'm reading from the teleprompter, and I'm hoping these
jokes. You're talking about a dude that's been 40 years in the game smoking weed. He ain't remembering too many things now.
He just gave us a really dope album, but then at the same time, he gave us like coonery at the same time. So it's weird. So I felt some type of way. Yeah, I'm like, I couldn't even watch it and feel good about it because I know he's a avid football guy, coach and all that. I guess I don't know Snoop personally. It was weird.
It felt weird.
Yeah, it
definitely felt
weird. Was the weirdness because of the whole political aspect of it, or was it just weird regardless?
It was
a little bit of everything.
It was both because I kind of felt like, he don't need the check, but I feel like Snoop is doing stuff for
you.
Check.
Let me get this part of it. You ever watch a movie, Gary, where a comedian is the star of the show, and they're trying to be too funny,
right?
Like for the part, like extra, and you're like, that's not hitting.
Kind of like
that's not hitting on.
Yeah, kind of like the old buddy for that be hosting the Grammys. I forget his name now. The British guy. Is it Noah? Trevor Noah. Yeah, this year he was better. But
I'm about to say Trevor Noah was better than this.
No. This year was much better. But in previous years, like when he first started doing it, you were like, Trevor, I know you hosting, but
I would put it more in the sense of Kevin Hart doing a certain movie, and you're like, okay, that's a little bit too much going on. And I love Kevin Hart, but you know when it's extra, and you're like, nah.
So early Kevin Hart versus the latest.
Yeah. It was a bad feel, and like Shawn said it correctly. People still have the bitter feeling of what Snoop just did.
Yeah.
So honestly, I'm surprised they didn't make a quick change.
That's the funny part about it. Like, I don't think they announced that he was doing it before. Like they knew he was hosting. It had to be. So, wow. I didn't hear that he was hosting until like the week of. Like Snoop doing what?
I think if that didn't happen, they would have been like, "Hey, NFL Honors hosted by Snoop Dogg." Like they will, promo it up. It just happened. I was like, I don't like it. I don't like it.
And he was forcing the jokes and. Yeah, it just
unless they were trying.
Even the people he had the jokes on were looking at him like, "Nah, bro, that ain't funny."
Yeah, he'd be like,
You see Burrow's joint?
Yeah, he was like, Burrow. He after that, I was like, you felt like me right now, Joe. I feel like Joe. Yeah, don't talk about my Batmobile. So let's go some of the award winners that night. It started off with my guy, the offensive rookie of the year, Jaden Daniels.
Well deserved.
And it was the most you could tell in his heart of heart. He was like, "Thank you for this award." but I'd rather be playing in the game. Like he was appreciative of it, and it was dope to see his guys there from LSU. Your man's what's his name from the Giants? Brian Thomas was there.
Yep.
I think those are the two that was there with him as well. I believe
that was the two, and then he came up with seeing Odell on stage.
Yes, Odell. So that whole LSU
LSU
connection is dope. Can you imagine if like all three of those receivers were on the same team, like in their prime? I mean, they're young, but Odell, that's bananas. But yeah, he came in, accepted the award. But even in other interviews I saw, like he want to be in this game this week, and it wasn't because of him that they didn't win last week. Well, 2 weeks ago against Philly. Then of course the defensive player, the defensive rookie player of the year, Patrick Surtain, loved it. Actually, defensive player of the year. I do apologize. Defensive player of the year was Patrick Surtain. Do you have any problem with that? Is anybody else? I thought it might have been headed to a TJ Wattish.
You're talking about like Hendrickson?
Yeah. Or Henderson too, but I think they were looking more like a record, accomplishments for the team thing. But because Henderson,
I think he kind of got slanted because of the defense and whole.
Yeah.
So I think it was like, yeah, we don't care what numbers you put up because your defense up.
Yeah.
So
it was that was that one there. The of course, AP, coach of the year, Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah,
what you think about that?
I didn't like it. Obviously.
Me neither. I didn't either.
If you're gonna take a coach from our conference, then I would have given it to Coach Dan Campbell from the NFC North. If you're gonna go that route, Oh well, he did it with less. So to say that he won with Sam Darnold instead of McCarthy and had above the win-loss record that they thought he was gonna have there, whatever. The team still didn't beat our team, so our coach was clearly better than your coach. So then flip that to the NFC East. You know what I'm saying with Jaden. Like the Washington Commanders coach. I could see him getting it because again,
6 wins.
Quinn, thank you. Like that would have been a better choice, I think, with that. Like I would have loved to see the voting, the way they did the MVP voting, to see who got first, second, third, because that just didn't seem the way to go. But I also knew that's how it was going to go before he even came out there.
Dan Quinn got fifth. In voting. So I don't know how the hell he got fifth. Kevin O'Connell got first. I want to say Dan Campbell got second. And Andy Reid got some votes in there too. I know they're 16-1 and such, but yeah, I didn't understand the whole Kevin. I guess they like, well, look what you did with Sam Darnold. Yeah, until Sam Darnold exploded and be like, or imploded rather. So like, I guess. This is the one that still is interesting to me, but I see why. The comeback player of the year, they gave it to Joe Burrow. I forgot that Joe had gotten hurt last year with that wrist injury, and he came back and. If it wasn't for today's point, their lack of defense in Cincinnati, we might be talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. He threw for them near 5,000 yards, had a crazy season, but they gave him AP Comeback Player of the Year. Any thoughts on that one?
The last one that was the cat had down on the field, right?
Say again? Yeah.
The last one was the guy down on the field.
Yeah, Damar Hamlin.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. I don't hate it because I can't really think of another one just right off the top of my head. Like, oh, well, he should have won it. So if you call out the fact that he was down with that injury, and then for what they did this year, especially with his stats, true. But he wasn't a down year for him last year either. So
I got a couple questions on that. So let me go over that. The Damar Hamlin thing, wasn't that 2 years ago?
Yeah, and they gave that to Joe Flacco last season.
So then how was he up for it again?
I don't know. Well, see, I guess they didn't count last year because he didn't really play last season. He played like a couple of games, really like 1 or 2 games.
Because I was wondering, I was like, we're like 2 years removed, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
The
so
second one was I saw Sam Darnold up there. Was he hurt too?
I guess his pride was
because he was down. Like
he was down.
He was one of those quarterbacks.
Just a down player.
About the league, like Ben Simmons in basketball.
But it's not like he wasn't starting during that time period. Like you just. And then you went to backups, and then you went. Okay, I guess I.
So comeback could be coming back from injury or coming back from the cellar.
Bad season.
Like he was in the basement.
Gotcha.
So.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what Gary said. Okay. All right.
So the biggest debate up here, the player who got Offensive Player of the Year,
Dave just don't want
and then you
nobody
can
to be
coincide
great.
that with the MVP. Offensive Player of the Year got with Saquon Barkley got Offensive Player of the Year. And then you saw going into that the MVP was given to Josh Allen. And I'll give you guys who have this, in my opinion, I thought in this case, because the Josh Allen got it over Lamar, I think I would have preferred, actually probably have given it to Lamar as far as Offensive Player of the Year if he's going to go this route, and gave Saquon MVP. But you know that ain't gonna happen. But what you guys take on that?
About to say, I think Saquon should have got it. But you know, this is a quarterback bias award, so you know, I think you got to also take into account impact that you had on your team. You know, you say what you want. Eagles ain't in the Super Bowl without Saquon. Especially with the play or the inconsistent play of Hurts. You know, then I think offensive player could have went to one of them. But yeah, I mean, it don't matter. Like it's just a pat on the back. Like, don't nobody give a shit about no MVP. Like I care about the Super Bowl. You could give me the Super Bowl MVP. I think that one hold way more weight than the league MVP. Shit.
Well, we'll see, because we'll actually touch on that Super Bowl MVP, I'm pretty sure, a little bit later.
Yeah.
But as far as MVP, I told y'all early in the season, I thought Saquon should have definitely been up there, much more considered for it, because also what people have to take into effect is, I know they play more games in a season now compared to what they were doing before, and they were talking about records. Well, let's also go to the fact that Saquon, numerous games, said, okay, I'm good, coach. True. And sat down. True. And barely broke the record. Think about that. Like, games he could have went off even more. Nah, let the young bucks play. And just sat down whole quarters. So it's pretty sick what he was doing. And this is the X factor. I don't care what nobody says. AJ Brown could read all his books. Devontae could get 1 to 2 catches. They are still winning. And they are winning because they have the ultimate X factor on the team. The man was up there for one of the best running backs behind one of the worst lines when he played for us.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
He was considered one of the best backs in the league behind our line. Why do we always look at Barry Sanders in the past of how great he was? He played behind a horrible line, and he was still great. So imagine if Barry, in his prime, he retired in his prime, left and said, "Oh, let me go to like a Dallas." See, you see where I'm going,
right? Right.
And that's why I always say to people, when you compare like Emmitt Smith's stats up against Barry's, don't do that. Because you put Barry behind that line, that record is never getting broken. You would have started off Saquon behind this Philadelphia line for all these years, there wouldn't be no conversation right now. He would have been broke that record.
Yeah.
He would have been broken. So when you're sitting back and you're looking at that ultimate X factor, what is everybody talking about going into the Super Bowl? They're talking about if they can maintain who? Well, contain who?
Yeah.
Can we keep them under 100 yards? They ain't talking about 40, 50, 60 yards. Can we keep them under 100? Can we get them to 99? We might have a chance. Like, that's crazy talk. So when you're talking about these type of people, like, that's the MVP talk that I'm looking for. That's the game changer. And he's the ultimate game changer. It's not to disrespect Lamar or even Josh Allen. Josh Allen, for anybody that doubts why he was up there that high, he went in there and took his team that wasn't even supposed to be there that far.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, if I know the playoffs is not considered, I don't really look at them losing that game in the playoffs his total fault in that sense.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's going to be a biasness. Earl and I spoke about this offline weeks ago. There's going to be a biasness on the Lamar side. Heck, that's in every sport. They get sick of seeing so-and-so MVP. They're like, nah, do this, do that. That goalpost is always going to move. So we knew that would be out there between those two. But the fact that Saquon wasn't talked about more to me was the head scratcher to me, whether he won it or not. Even though he was up there, he wasn't up there. They weren't talking about him. It was all Josh Allen and Lamar. And I think that was the total disrespect, at least to me.
So
because even the numbers, it wasn't separated by 2. Say that again.
Should we change the voting? Right, the AP.
There definitely should be. What is it called? Let's talk about it. It's the most valuable player. It's not just the best player. Hell, you talking the best player? How many would Patrick Mahomes would have won by now? If we're just talking the best player,
too, though, right? Like most valuable player, the value to what degree?
To
the
that,
value
to
that
that
gives me the
team,
most wins, the value
to
that
I don't even think it just has to be off of wins.
So you would have 32 MVPs, right? So the most valuable player of each team, and then picking out of that pool type thing.
So let me give you an example. I know it doesn't come off performance, but it comes off the way that they act in general. That's why I love that Walter Payton Award.
Yeah.
Each team puts up a player off their team and they say, that's the guy. That's the one.
Yeah.
And then you judge from there. I guarantee you, if you would have went to Philly this year, who would they have said? Saquon's the guy.
Yeah.
That's the one. Put him on up there. And each team can do that. And then some teams will get funneled out and stuff like that. Some of the players that you put up there, because they'd be like, nah, I know that's the best player on your team, but that ain't gonna be the person for this MVP. But once we get into the Hall of Fame talk, you'll see, because some of these things should be obvious things to the eye to me. You get what I mean? And I just think when you cause that commotion between the two on the quarterback side, why are you not looking on the outside? So go ahead. I don't want to rule this talk.
So real quick, once you get those 32 candidates, then who's selected?
I think
you want to leave it to the journalists and these AP folks who, like you said,
journalists are going to be biased, especially in the area.
They're going to be regardless.
Journalists are going to be biased. Period.
We talk about it all the time, that the narratives and the stories are driven by the media. Like, they can make or break a team. If they decide, whoever want to put their pen to paper, or in this case, thumbs to phone these days, they can make or break a team or an individual's career to the point to where
not just looking at the one position.
Yeah. I think, like I said, it's a bias. It's a bias award. Just like the Heisman, it's a bias award. Like, 9 times out of 10 is going to go to a quarterback. Same thing with the most valuable player. 9 times out of 10 is going to go to a quarterback. I think what both entities need to do is they need to set specific criteria that doesn't isolate just one position. Like, set criteria to where you say, something. A generic or general criteria that embodies everybody. So this way, and then too, the media, like I don't know if Shawn said it or Gary, the media does impact, that award. So they also need to go and say, hey, listen, stop just talking about quarterbacks, because there's other positions that are worthy.
I like that right there. The Dan Marino Award. Just
it's true.
Yeah. You talking
about a
but that's true.
Yeah.
But see, and that's why I'm saying, same thing that Earl was just saying, it's not weighed the same way. You hear about these stats for the quarterback, and that's great. Do you know how hard it is to get 20 sacks in a season?
Hell yeah.
Do you know how hard it is to get 2,000 yards for a running back? Do you know how hard it is to shut down your whole area as a cornerback to the case that they don't even throw your way? Revis Island, Deion Sanders,
how hard it is to lead sacks when you was on the Giants and you had to play with OC and you had to play with Tuck.
True,
but Strahan was still able.
So what? Brett Favre went there. So far, Brett Favre.
It doesn't matter.
He was scared, and that's
how we do that, Gary. It doesn't matter.
So SX, before we transition real quick to kind of keep it on the stats thing, question for the group. So number one. Of the multiple MVP winners, how many do you think was a non-quarterback?
You have the multi-time.
Yeah,
I mean,
2 or more.
I can't even tell you.
Actually, I think because really it didn't start becoming a quarterback award till like around 2003, 2000. No, maybe a little bit later, 2005. Because we had running backs and stuff prior to that. Then all of a sudden it became nothing but quarterbacks. So I want to say there's more non-quarterbacks as MVPs that there are MVP quarterbacks.
Oh, there's more.
MVP, but multiple MVPs.
There's more.
That has multiple ones.
Yeah, they have to have at least 2 or more.
So we're talking about
Pat. I mean, what's the
Peyton? Peyton is one.
No, not Peyton.
Tom. No, they're quarterbacks. Those are quarterbacks.
Non-quarterbacks.
Oh, non-quarterbacks.
How many non-quarterbacks have 2 or more MVPs?
Shit, I want to say probably what? Walter Payton?
Walter or Jim Brown.
I'm gonna go none.
Yeah, that's it. That's all
The
I'm
answer's
thinking.
one.
Okay.
And that one is Jim Brown. He has 3.
Boom.
Yeah.
Now, who do you think has the most of all time?
MVPs?
Mhm.
Did Jim Brown and Tom Brady?
Non-quarterback or
No, period. So Jim Brown is the only one that has multiple.
He has 3.
And he has 3.
Peyton
Wow.
only has 2.
So then Jim Brown,
So
right?
who has the most MVPs?
I feel like it's gonna be a name that we need thinking about. Shit, I don't even know who.
Is it Jim Brown?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Jim Brown has 3.
Oh.
It's more than 3.
No. There's somebody that has more than 3?
Damn.
That's a good question.
2 people.
Oh yeah, then there's somebody that we don't.
Yeah.
somebody we
Quarterback?
don't know.
Can you give us
Like,
that?
like Jim Plunkett or
It's
something like
definitely
that.
quarterback based on what we already just talked about.
Okay.
So,
Is it Jim Plunkett? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
all right. Because y'all look like y'all suffering over there. So with 4,
I don't even know, bro.
Aaron Rodgers.
What?
He got 4 MVP
right,
with the Packers.
right. You're right.
And then that checks the
And with
validity
5,
of this.
the leader of the pack with 5 is, if it's not Aaron Rodgers, who do you think?
Huh?
Tom?
No.
Tom Brady
No, he
only
ain't
has
put up
3.
numbers like that. He ain't put up
Peyton
numbers
Manning.
like that on him.
Hey, man,
Peyton?
got 5 MVPs?
He had 4 with the Colts, 03, 04, 08.
He
09.
is the ultimate
And
regular
he got the
season,
one with
though.
the Broncos,
He is,
same
yeah.
thing.
You're right. Damn.
He is the ultimate regular season.
Damn. I forgot.
So,
You know, I mean,
unofficial stat for you there? Or a stat for you from your unofficial statistician, rather?
damn.
Yeah, nah, that's good stuff. I like that.
And how's that
I
worked
like
out
that.
for the Green Bay Packers? Because that was horrible. You know how I feel about that. That's wild. That is wild.
I mean, they got 2. They got Aaron Rodgers with 4, and Brett Favre had 3. So they got 7 MVPs.
Yeah, that's a lot of MVPs.
Somebody saying love. All right, go ahead.
That could be.
Let's
In
go
any
back
case,
up.
man, the whole way they handled before we transition, the whole way they handled this whole MVP thing has been like weird because now you got all of the quote unquote controversy around the fact that Lamar received all the first place all pro votes. And typically when that happens, that is typically your MVP. And with Josh Allen getting second team all pro votes, and then they were like, it's so crazy because Lamar wasn't even at NFL honors, so he already knew.
Mhm.
He wasn't.
By the way, if you're just going off of stats, then Joe Burrow will be on that stage too.
Facts. And the reason he went up there is
If you're
because
just going off of stats.
Yeah, literally. he had no defense. That's all. Still should have gave it to Saquon in this case because I think they forget about that play when you actually hit the Madden spin button and then leap over somebody backwards. That alone should have got you the goddamn MVP over everybody else.
Right there, I pull you off the field and you get drug tested, bro.
Right.
Like,
Right.
Immediately.
Right.
Go on the tank.
Right.
Go on the tank.
In my coaching days, if I had one of my players do that, I'm pulling you off the field for showing off. Hey, do what the fuck we tell you. Just run the ball. Ain't nobody actually. I know your girlfriend's on the sideline. Hey, don't do that here. This is so disrespectful, man. Oh man, this is the Hot Seat Podcast. The Football Talk Live presented to you by Zeno. We're live streaming on YouTube and Facebook. Welcome to the party, folks. It's Super Bowl Sunday. Dave talked about it. Let's get into our newest batch of Hall of Famers. 2025 Pro Football Hall of Fame class
Take your time.
has been selected. Some names that I feel like should have already been in there. I thought, especially around Eric Allen. I forgot that he wasn't even in Hall of Fame. All-world cornerback Jared Allen, defensive end. Not sure how I felt about that one. Antonio Gates, longtime tight end, like one of the. I
thought Gates was still playing. That's how long he was on somebody's roster. I'm serious, bro. Like Gates was that person to pop up and you like, damn, he's still playing.
He kept showing up on the Madden roster. I was confused as shit. And then Sterling Sharp, wide receiver, man. That was. I watched that video, man. Bro. I was tearing up and shit, man. That was cold, especially if you've listened to Shannon Sharp and tell the stories of him growing up and how his brother actually helped. Man, it's wild. But any surprising new member to this class or any omissions that you thought might happen this year? Because we're gonna talk about one in a minute. But yeah.
All right, I'll save that one. I mean, there's always going to be omissions. I don't know specifically who those people would be. I know some people, you might want to look that up, Gary. There's some people that this year was their last time to get in. I think, what's his name? Holmgren, coach for Green Bay. I think that was his last time to get in. and he didn't get in. There was a couple other ones.
Oh, there's a limit.
Yeah, I believe there's a time
Just
limit
like in
or something
baseball.
like that.
Yeah, just like in baseball. Barry Bonds and what's the name? They no
So-
longer can be on the ballot.
And it's tough, like specifically on certain positions and things like that. You start breaking down who was the best in this, but this person was awesome, but they weren't the best. And then, next year we'll vote on you. But then next year's class comes in. Then you're like, oh no, this is Jerry Rice's class. Oh, this is Randy Moss's class. This is so you're definitely not getting over them. It gets tough in there. But let me just say this. I know it'll lead later on into what we're going to talk about ultimately. People got to realize, to me, how Hall of Fame should be. I know I've stated it numerous times. Hall of Fame is the best of the best. Not good. It's not supposed to be good players. It's not supposed to be popular players that you just like because you're a fan of the team and things like that. When I think Hall of Fame, no matter what sport you're talking about, I'm talking about, this was it right here.
That's them. Right.
You know what I mean? If you were good for that team, go in your ring of honor. You know what I mean? If you were respecting that type of way, put them on up there, and that's the way. And I'm not even slighting it, but that's what it is. When I think Hall of Fame, there's a certain type of thing that goes there. Now, I know we'll get to it, but when I think first ballot Hall of Fame, it's something even extra on top of that, which we'll get into. Yeah. But when we start talking about some of these people that are on here, I mean, Sterling Sharp, shorter career. I don't know how many years he had played, but he was pretty automatic when he was on that field. Yeah. Pretty automatic. If we were betting today the same way we were, if we were betting back then the same way we were betting today, constant every week. What we putting down, Earl? How many yards? How many receptions? It's gonna happen. It was that automatic. Antonio Gates was the same way. You knew he was getting something automatic. You're just plugging them in. How many yards? How many receptions? I know you said you felt a certain type of way about the Jared Allen thing. I want to hear where you were swaying that way.
I didn't. Jared Allen, as far as the defensive side, because I'm still looking at guys like London Fletcher that still have not made it into the Hall. And Jared Allen,
just because you biased?
No. Because remember, he played in Buffalo. He was crazy in Buffalo. That's before he even came to Washington. And I'm just looking like I didn't. Say again?
I said London Fletcher didn't even get to the finalist level, let alone to.
Right. That's crazy. And I'm trying to see Jared Allen. Outside of Minnesota, and who else? He played with one more squad, right? I think he I want to say his last few years, then he moved to somebody else. I think I could be wrong, but I didn't when I saw this come up, and this is not to downgrade what he did. I didn't see him over.
So he started off with Kansas City 04-07, went to the Vikings 08-13,
right?
Bears 14-15, and finished out with the Panthers.
Yeah, was he on that Panthers squad that was in the Super Bowl? Or maybe it was that Bears squad that went with Rex Grossman in them. I feel like it was. I mean, I don't know. I just his name didn't pop when I thought Hall of Fame defensive
Super Bowl 50. So he was in Super Bowl 50.
Yeah. So that may be the one up thing that
136 sacks.
Yeah. So it just didn't stand out for me. I guess I could be wrong, but
and he played at just about every single one of his games besides coming to the end of his career.
Got you. Okay.
So just a quick correction to something we said earlier. So once you're on the list for the Hall of Fame as voted in, you're on there indefinitely. So there's not a time frame.
Okay.
This time you're out. It literally comes out. You're there, and it just votes you in. The issue.
So if you're not on,
let's go ahead.
So if you're not on, you said once you're on the list.
Yeah, so once you retire and the 5 years go by, like the time frame for the players,
you're eligible.
Maybe less, then you can be voted in at any point. So it's just a matter of when you go through and get to the list and they whittle it down. But you have to get 80% of the committee
approval to be on there.
So that's why they got to the 4. Only these 4 got the 80% of the votes of the finalists of 15, I think it was.
So, but
Gotcha.
the further you get down that list or further removed from your initial,
and then the new people start coming in.
You
should add a luck.
So it's one of those things. Then some of it could be recency bias, because again, the game has changed a bit to where stats based, some guys are collecting stats at a rate that is a lot faster than what the OGs were in a lot of cases. So that is, again, recency bias. Some of the media, the voters are starting to age out a little bit. So that part as well.
And also, they can only elect up to 5 modern era players for the class.
Yeah.
Oh, word.
You said only 5 or what?
Yeah. So the selection committee may elect up to 5 modern era players for the class, and each must receive a minimum vote of 80% for the election.
Gotcha.
Got it. So go to the real reason why you asked the question. Okay, go to the real reason.
No, I don't know real reason.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well.
Okay, Eli didn't get it. My God,
Eli man. There was so much debate. Yeah, look, I didn't have to frame it, man. So much debate on Eli Manning being a first ballot Hall of Famer, and then of course we remember those 2 plays, those 2 specific plays in those 2 Super Bowls. But he did a lot of other great things as well. And the debate was, should that make him a first ballot Hall of Famer, considering that he's led the league, I believe, one season in interceptions, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dave and Earl. He did have the Iron Man streak for the longest time before they played him.
More than likely.
His career overall is just above 500-ish.
Listen, he didn't get it.
Before resident Giants fans go, let me just say this, because I know Earl, I know you and Dave have some thoughts on it. And some things I've been hearing over the week actually made sense of why he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Gotcha.
Somebody said you can't tell the story of the Patriots and the greatness of Tom Brady without talking about those 2 Super Bowl losses. All right, that's not necessarily Hall of Fame worth. It's the fact that you broke a record, you broke a team from being undefeated, things of that nature. So that's not it. And then somebody else, I forgot who said it, but they were like, if you put his time frame when he was in the league, his prime years, and put that against that Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo had the better stats. Didn't go as far in the playoffs by far at all, but statistically, he was the better quarterback. And Tony Romo ain't nobody's first ballot Hall of Famer. So if it's the rings counts that matter, then there's some other people that should be in the Hall of Fame as well that aren't there. But as far as a first ballot Hall of Famer, I can see why he didn't get it. I can also see why Sterling Sharp did get it. Like, it was a storyline. When y'all talk about a storyline, it's the whole story with him and Shannon. Like, oh, that's going to be a nice thing. So let's finally push him over. But as far as Eli, like, will he get in eventually because of his name? Probably. But the fact that he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer,
because of his name. Wow, that's wild. So let me interject here. So there's no bias. There's no bias here. I'm not a Cowboys fan, so we speak the facts. Okay. So at the end of the day, Eli Manning didn't get first ballot Hall of Fame. All right, cool, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought he would. I don't remember what Dave said. I thought he would. He didn't get it. Cool. Is he going to be in the Hall of Fame? Yes. Is it because of his name? No. So let me explain why. 1, Eli had 2 Super Bowls, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. That counts. Okay. 2, how he did it. He stopped an undefeated team. And I said he. Okay. It was the defense too, but he did what he had to do. All right. 3, his record in the playoffs is pretty spectacular. 4, we're gonna go to stats now. For the important stats for the QBs, up until this year, he was top 10 in most of those stats. And I'm not talking about interception, yards, completion. He was in the top 10, and then I forget who, somebody just passed him. So somebody just bumped him down. I don't know if somebody just bumped him down to 11. But even still, he's top 20 or top 15 in a lot of these positions. I mean, a lot of these categories, I think. And then finally, the man played every single game, bro. Like, I need y'all to understand like how hard that is in the NFL. And then times that time 10 where you got an offensive line like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the man was an Iron Man, so like that should be a stat in itself. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit is no easy feat, and to play for six, like his to think that his streak got ended because of a dumbass coach. So I'll say this. So I think it's wrong to say that he's going to get in eventually because of his name. Nah, that's bullshit. He's going to get in there because he earned to get in there. Now, did he get in there first ballot? Did he deserve it? Tomatoes, but he's going to get in there.
Winning percentage, Earl. You was talking about stats. He has a 500 record.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm talking about statistical things. So I'm talking about yards. I'm talking about completions. I'm talking about attempts. All of those things. That's what I'm speaking on.
So, Earl asked what I had said earlier about Eli, and I remember saying that I didn't think he was going to get in on the first ballot. And honestly, besides it being set up, the hype wise, where the Super Bowl's at, stuff like that. I think it was the right choice. And the reason why is something that I was talking about and leading into earlier, if I'm being unbiased. And Ryan Clark said it best to me, if you heard him anytime this week. He has said, you know, when you look at the NFL, the Hall of Fame wise, you look at that aura around those players. Okay. Mm-hmm. But when you think first ballot, that's a whole separate room. That's a room you walk in and the other Hall of Famers look up to that room. They walk in there and they're like, there's no question. There's no debate. There's no nothing. And when you start thinking about these people that you talk about first ballot, that's the way it should feel. And he said, point blank, Eli's going to get in. There ain't going to be no question about that. He's in there. But first ballot, you never sat back and you looked at Eli and said, you know what? We're going up against the Giants this week. Let's prepare for Eli. You never did it. So you never did it. He was never that guy in that sense where, you know, he's definitely clutch. He's playoff Eli. That's what it is. Hey, we're not going to make it every single year, but you get him in there and something's going to happen. Some type of magic is going to come from the sky and it's going to be on point. When people disrespect Eli, even with the stats, go talk to his receivers. They love playing with Eli. They loved him. They loved him, bro. And I don't care what nobody says. You can be as talented as you want. You got to be a certain person to play in New York and places like that.
Got that
for all those years. And not make the playoffs all those years. And still hold steady. And still have the stone face on.
And how he came in the league.
How he
came in the league. Yeah.
So there's no question to me that he's going to be in. It has nothing to do with the name. But there's no question that he's going to be into me. 2 MVPs. He was the reason why good reason why they won. You can talk about defense all you want, but you got to put points on the board. And he put it up there at the right time. He made some perfect throws. I know we talk about some catches. The catch on the sideline with Manningham, that was perfect, bro. Go watch it. It was perfect going through the playoffs. The people he had to beat on the road, the teams and the quarterbacks to get there, perfect, bro. To beat the perfect team, like not even scared. Earl and I spoke at the end of the season, the regular season that one year, and we were like, we remember we played the Patriots and we lost that game. And after losing that game, we sat back, looked at each other and was like, I think we got this, bro. Because you could see the confidence. I've never seen so much confidence after a loss. Mm-hmm. And then they ran right through the playoffs. And who did we meet in the championship? The Patriots. And that's why they weren't scared going into that game. I guarantee you it's because of that game at the end of the season.
The last game of the season.
Yeah. That was the push. That type of mindset is not just given to somebody. It's either there or it's not. It's either there or it's not.
You don't.
So he's going to be in there. But I don't feel slanted about the first ballot thing because if we're being honest, and the way Ryan Clark laid it out, I think was perfect. The other Hall of Famers look at first ballot ones and go, no question.
Right.
Yeah. So if there's a question, if you got to go through all these stats and you're still questioning, that's not a first ballot to me.
Right. Yeah.
And he's just not that.
And realistically, I don't think no Giants fans are sitting up there like, oh my God, he got slighted. Like, nah. Like, But what we're saying is where I feel like people are becoming
You slide him if
disrespectful.
you don't think he's a
They're
Hall of
saying
Famer.
like he's not a Hall of Famer. Like, relax. Relax.
He'll
yo.
be there.
Like, he's gonna be there. You know what I'm saying?
One thing he has over his brother is both of his Super Bowls were, yes, he had his defense, but they were on his shoulders. If you remember that other Super Bowl that Peyton got, that was that defense.
But meanwhile, the Marino got a Super Bowl?
No.
Okay,
No.
then we need to be quiet. Continue.
Jay.
So I posted it. So the eligibility is opened up for these 5 players going to 2026. So Drew Brees, I'm thinking we're probably going to hit first ballot on him. More than likely. Could be wrong. Larry Fitzgerald. I don't know if there's any doubt there. Maybe again to
That's one of my most favorite players of all time.
Yeah. Now the one that's interesting, I can probably say without a doubt he's not going to be first, not even second. It'll be Phillip Rivers. If somehow he got first ballot and
now we have an argument. Now
somebody will get cussed out.
Now we have an argument.
Frank Gore,
nah,
and Jason Witten.
Jason might.
Yeah, but then you also got to think about to what we were just talking about. You have those folks who didn't make it this year. So now, you're eligible this year, but now those other folks who got to get that 80% of the crap. So out of these, 5? I would say you're looking at Drew, probably Larry Fitzgerald, and more than likely Eli.
And then it's going to be those people that are just haters anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That just don't want you to be that. I go back to who just got slighted for baseball's Hall of Fame? Ichiro.
Yeah.
Didn't get the 100% joint.
Oh,
and everybody's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, how in the world is he not?
Yeah.
You're going to have those people that are just like, nah. For whatever reason, you lost whatever amount of money.
They want to be that person. It's like, oh yeah, who didn't go for? Oh, that person.
Yeah.
Anybody that watches like baseball, not to switch up, but anybody that watched it. Ken Griffey was the same way. Ken Griffey Jr. Like, are you serious? So you're gonna see that too.
Told you, media be on that bullshit. We're gonna see though. We're gonna see in these guys, man. This is the Hot Seat Podcast presents Football Talk Live, presented by Zeno. Y'all want to talk about some betting props first before we get into the games? No? Yeah.
All I know,
we can go there.
All I know before we even go into these props, I need FanDuel to get on their shit. Because let me explain something to you. We can't have what happened in the NFC champion. No, in the AFC championship. And it started in the NFC championship where you could not place a bet. So I would say this. All those who bet, it might be in your best interest to put your bets in early so that you don't have no situation.
A lot of folks cashing out.
Yeah, I don't want that little $25 credit. Nah, fuck that shit.
There's been a lot of bettings happening, man. It's all types of things. Of course, we have the odds for some of the Patrick Mahomes' favorite odds in this case, so where he's plus 150 as far as the MVP favorite. And this may change. This is something I'm pulling up right now. One of the other ones, the ones we bet on. Do y'all even bet on this one? Like the color of the Gatorade? Do y'all do those?
I don't do those.
Yeah,
nah.
I know.
I might because it's
yeah.
How many seconds for the national anthem?
Yeah.
Did you see that joint when they said the person?
Well, who's singing? Who's singing
the national anthem? That's a question.
If it's a black person, I'm taking the over.
I know Lettucey is doing the black national anthem.
So I'm taking the over.
Are they still gonna let her do it?
You know she going.
Yeah, I'm taking the over. If it's anybody black, I'm taking the over because they're gonna put some runs in there. If it's a white person, I'm taking the under.
Oh my god!
Well, you forgot about Chris Stapleton, don't you? Like,
Nah.
Nah, he's not.
But
He's not.
different.
Nah.
He's a white guy with black soul.
He's cookout.
He's invited to the cookout. So he was gonna get the over.
He bringing it and he's gonna be good.
And he was playing the guitar. Yeah. We gonna go to over. Well,
John Batiste.
There is a plus $800. There's a plus 800 odd on.
You know who that is, Earl. You do.
Who?
You do.
What?
John Batiste.
Yeah, man.
For the Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
You talking about the dude that played the piano?
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
he don't even sing, do he? Don't he play the just play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Nah,
man.
I'm gonna take the under.
Come on, Earl.
I'm gonna take the under.
Oh man.
Nah, I'm gonna
You
take the under.
got a
Classical
plus
Earl.
800 odds on Travis Kelce proposing to Taylor Swift, so that's interesting.
Are you serious on
You
FanDuel?
just had to do that.
I said that's bet MGM odds.
Yo, you know what was an interesting bet that I might put like $100 on if
Okay.
it's still there. So there's and I don't even know why this bet is up there. So they got Marcus Brown and Devontae Smith combined for 50 receiving yards in each half. That they can easily do that, and that's a plus 310.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't realize who has the longest Star Spangled Banner performance in the history. Earl's favorite singer.
It's somebody black. I know that. I guess.
Earl's favorite singer.
Oh, Stevie?
You wonder?
Alicia Keys.
Oh, okay. Don't piss me off on this Sunday.
You hit Earl right there.
2 minutes and 36 seconds. Back in 2013.
I heard she doing it again this year.
Hey man, she got the Dr. Dre Impact Award.
That's why I didn't. That's why I didn't. Let me tell you how God got a sense of humor.
See what you did?
Because I came in the house on Sunday from the game. I turned on the Grammys, and guess who came up when I turned it on? And it was Alicia Keys accepting. And I turned that junk off so quick.
See, man. You know what? I'm gonna get you tickets to her play, man.
Yeah, please.
We're gonna go on out there. Hell's Kitchen.
You're gonna waste your money. Waste your money.
Front row.
You're gonna waste your money.
What else y'all got? So you're gonna be hard pressed to take any unders for Saquon because I believe he's gonna get this game.
I know they said hold him under 100. I think he's gonna get that 100.
Yeah, he's gonna get it.
He's gonna break one.
This will be the first time that the team that I hope that just for his sake, even though I'm rooting against him, that he'll get loose because the two previous teams decided not to run the ball against the Chiefs, even though the Chiefs couldn't stop the run. I'm talking about the Ravens in the AFC Championship game and the San Francisco 49ers. I don't think they really ran the ball like that. That was successful against them for the most part. I could be wrong, but I know for sure the Ravens didn't. What else we got? Any other popular props we got out there? I didn't pull up none of the other weird ones yet on here. All the weird stuff. Earl, Dave, what y'all got?
Oh yeah, I don't got no weird ones like that. But I do have. I got Mahomes over 200. If they're gonna have a chance, I think he's gonna have to throw this ball. Kelce is gonna be one of the weird ones to me. Yeah, because
I need him not to be a bitch and fucking
that last game hurt, bro. That last game hurt for the whole Kelce thing. Because I was talking about the stat, if you remember, I think it was like 16 or whatever straight games over at least 70, and then boom.
And as soon as you said it, bro,
the person that never misses a kick, never misses a kick.
Is that too soon?
Whenever they say that. So I'm kind of weary on the Kelce thing. I think AJ and Devonta gotta show up. I don't think this is a game where it's just running.
I think AJ got to show up, and I think Devontae be all right. Like people, Devontae
God is going to get his.
God is going to get his. Devontae is going to get his. AJ depends on if they throw him the ball and if he going to catch it.
Now you know my kryptonite. I'm always so scared to put anything on Jalen Hurts because I never know what the hell he's going to do that game. If he's going to throw, he's going to run. If he gonna just hand the ball off, like I never know
like
what he's gonna do.
The last time they played, he ran a lot because I want to say he scored like 2 touchdowns in the last game, and it almost felt like it was just him. This year, he got to throw the ball. Like they need. It's not going to be the defense because defenses match up. It's not going to be the running back play. The X factor is going to be how Jalen Hurts plays. He's got to throw over 200 for them to win.
Now, I will tell you, I have an anytime touchdown ticket. I already got that in.
I do too.
I got Saquon.
Yep.
I got Hurts.
Yep.
I got Kelsey. Guess what my fourth one is, and it's on the Chiefs.
Hunt. Kareem Hunt.
Nope.
Not Kelsey. I hope not Kelsey. I mean, Worthy.
Brown.
Worthy.
Or DeAndre Hopkins.
I got Pacheco.
Juju.
Pacheco?
Nah.
They were giving some reports that he's at the healthiest state he is right now, and they believe they're going to use him on some of their goal line stuff. So
I can see it.
And it boosts my ticket throwing them in there. So it was like one of those. So I got Pacheco on this one. That's my one of my anytime touchdown tickets. I know on another one that I'm putting in. Another one I got putting in Mahomes, bro. They get down there within that 10-yard line. Somehow he always scoots out. And
told you with his small ass shoes, feel like his feet hurting when he runs.
Somehow he always does it, bro. So I don't know. You want something to jump up your ticket? Mahomes may run for a touchdown.
They got a plus 3,000 for Worthy to be the first to rush the 20 yards.
Say who?
For who?
Worthy to get the first to rush 20 rushing yards. It's a plus 3,000.
Shoot, Saquon might get that on the first damn handoff.
Yeah,
I can see that with Worthy because they hit that
roundabout jump.
They hit that end around and get them out there on the edges, the guys to move. I think this game will come down to who takes advantage of when there's either those 3 and outs or those turnovers. That will make or break whoever wins this game.
Here's a bet for you.
Yeah.
Who's the MVP?
If it's the Chiefs, I mean, it's gonna be Pat. If it's the Eagles, I think it's gonna be Saquon.
Yeah, plus 6,500 for Chris Jones.
He would have to have
he shines in that 4. He shines in that 4.
Yeah, he'll have to have a monster day. Monster day. Like a day where like the score ended up being like 13-10. And he got like 3 sacks or something like that. Yeah, or he got a forced fumble and scoop and score or something like that. It's going to be interesting to see how this game lines up because they are on paper. The Eagles should walk away with this, but their biggest hole is their quarterback position. To be perfectly honest, everything else they have on the Chiefs in every position. Damn near.
It don't matter.
Yeah, right. No, that's what I'm saying. It
don't. I told y'all that last week. Now, them stats leading up to games like this, it don't matter.
It's all coaching and execution and who backside getting tight. Like, hey, what play you calling this week? Yeah, let's get right onto the game, man. The game is 6:30. What time is kickoff? Is kickoff actually at 6:30? Because I feel like maybe like 6:30, but that should I guess all the pre stuff is before that. I hope kickoff's at 6:30 because otherwise it's gonna be a long night. You know, you got a whole game. It's like an hour.
Can I say this? Everybody checking on, I know it's a fun day. It's a sad day for a lot of fellas because football is about to be over. Females are probably rejoicing because they probably going to get their husbands, their spouses, whatever, the other halves back.
Combine February 27th. What are you talking about?
Facts.
I already told the missus. Yeah, but that's only one day. I mean, I'm sorry, that's a couple days, but still, it's not the same. But I really want a lot of people to really check in on their Giants fans, because a lot of them are pissed. A lot of us are probably rooting for Saquon, and a lot of us are looking at our front office like, yo, the fuck.
Better check on Mara.
Well, yeah, check on.
Right. Get the Giants, man. They gonna check on Mara.
Check on Mara.
Artist, bro.
Yeah. If I'm saying showing whatever, I'm not even watching the Super Bowl, bro. I'm not even watching the Super Bowl. Like you idiot. You freaking idiot. But go ahead. That's all I got.
Well, I'll add to that, Earl. Check in, check on you guys. And I get from the Saquon standpoint, but also because I'm petty. Check on your fellow Cowboys fans. Because they just had to watch the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders, Redskins football team, whatever you want to call us, in the NFC Championship game. and now they are the lone team in the NFC East that has not been to a conference championship in like 2 decades. 2 decades. You had to, and now you got to watch probably your hated rival, the Eagles, play in the Super Bowl again. And on top of the fact that you got your weird, linebacker defensive guy talking crazy, you got a quarterback that's overpaid, and you got a coach that we thought he was coaching high school, and Brian Schottenheimer, and his dad is a good coach, and that ain't even work out for him. So check in on them.
I ain't gonna lie though, the Eagles win. We might have a day off, so I'm rooting for the Eagles. So man, we getting some snow. Man, come on, Eagles, come through, Eagles.
I'm gonna say, don't y'all got remote now?
Nah, they ain't making a remote. Ain't nobody doing no teaching.
That's your executive decision.
Yeah, ain't no remote happening, bro.
On his own EOs.
So I will be honest with this. So there's been a lot of conversation about what's riding on this game. Of course, the Chiefs, they're trying to hit that 3-peat. They're, Pat trying to separate what could potentially separate himself from the whole Brady conversation as far as the GOAT wise. Yes, he don't have the same amount of rings, but hey, we did this 3 times in a row, and I took my team there, to the AFC Championship game 7 times. But the other part of this that people haven't really talked about a lot, this could be a real quick open and shut window for the Eagles. Yes, you have Saquon for the next couple of years, but
Saquon.
So you have a couple of your guys who are up for free agency. I believe they have one of their linemen. I forget his name. Potentially looking at retirement. This from on the Eagle side, and 2, the Lions ain't going nowhere. You just played your division rival in the NFC Championship game. They on their way. You also got teams like you thinking that the 49ers are probably going to be better. You don't know what's going to happen in Minnesota. Green Bay is still there. This may be their opportunity to cash in on this then, because there's no guarantee they're going to get back there anytime soon. Just saying.
I'm sorry, George.
I'm just saying.
That wasn't my doing.
Just saying. But on the serious note, the Eagles, they got to cash out, man, or cash in on this rather, because they may not make it back with these other teams.
See, you go and say that, John. Do you know the Eagles have an open bank account? We discussed this.
Yeah, they got.
So now you go and open up that can. The next thing you know, here comes what's his name from the Browns?
Miles Garrett.
Miles Garrett on the Eagles.
I am calling in an executive something.
I tell you, they need to do a 30-30 on the Eagles, bro. Just on the front office.
You just open up that can. Why you just do that? Yeah. They have endless money, bro.
Yeah. Now here's a question for you guys. I got a serious question. The Eagles lose this game, and Jalen Hurts has a subpar to bad game. What does next season look like for the Eagles?
Fuck Jalen Hurts. What about the coach?
I mean, that part too, but they may go hand in hand. I mean, Jalen has that contract, so he's not going anywhere. But what's that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that do to the locker room? If you we have the team right now. We got the best running back in all of football, best line, best defense. We got the receivers. But it
doesn't do anything to Jalen Hurts, man. Yeah. He got there 2 times in 3-4 years. You say what you want, he got him there twice. He got him there 1 year without Saquon. So, I mean, if anything, it validates the money that he got.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's the one. That's the one area we always talk about. The weak spot of the Eagles being at the quarterback position. So, we're gonna see how this goes. So. Picks around. Who do we got? Earl, who you got in this game? Your official pick.
I'm rooting for the Eagles, but I think the Chiefs are gonna win.
Oh, that's how he's hedging his bet.
There
we go. Don't do this, bro. Pick a team.
I picked the team. I told you what it is. I said I'm rooting for the Eagles.
You get away with that.
I said I think the Chiefs are gonna win, but I'm rooting for the Eagles.
So if the Eagles win, it's like, that's what I wanted to win.
Nah,
and then the Chiefs win.
Yo, I have no.
That's what I picked.
Bro, I have no stake in the game. I'm a Giants fan, so I don't give a fuck.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I think
you didn't have to say that part there.
No, but I needed the preference.
He asked you who you picked.
I told you. I said I think the Chiefs are going to win, but I'm rooting for
All right, so stop it right there. Chiefs going to win. Keep going. Yes, who you picking? Who you picking?
Who you got, Gary?
Crap is this?
I think the Lions going to win, but I'm rooting for the Commanders. What are you talking about? Keep going.
I think last when we talked about this, I was like, it'd be nice to see the history with 3-peat.
Yeah.
But also it'd be nice to have Saquon go ahead and do great. So Lions ain't in it. Jags probably ain't never gonna get in it. So it's a toss up, but let's go Eagles, I guess, do something different this week.
Right. That's something different.
Hey, next
also
year.
The Eagles have 6 Georgia Bulldogs on their squad. Chiefs Georgia's killing it.
Yeah.
In the spirit of Earl, next year I think the Chiefs are gonna win, but I want the Giants to. But anyway, my pick for this game.
Can't stand this N-word.
My pick for this game is going to be the Chiefs. I told y'all earlier. I just can't bet against that man. I can't. I mean, if you do it every single season, going for the last 7 years or whatever, you won more money than what you lost. I'm just gonna put it that way. You won more money than what you lost through the playoffs and games and things like that. So yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
In the spirit of Earl, once again, there's a couple of guys that on the Eagle squad that I'm happy to see them there. My man Cooper DeJean, goddamn Coop. But I hate seeing him in that green. But Cooper DeJean, I love seeing him there. Rookie, crazy season. Saquon, hey man, hey he forget the non-O-line situation in the Giants. There was a time where we thought Saquon won't go last in the league because it was injury after injury. And to see you talking about comeback player of the year, shit, they should have gave it to him, to be perfectly honest. Because he was, for a while they started looking at Saquon, I wouldn't say as the biggest bust, but it was trending. It was trending there, man, just because he couldn't stay healthy. But that being the case, Chiefs, to the same thing that Dave said, it's just something about watching greatness on the field. And then it's funny, it's like we back in the 90s watching Chicago again. On paper, the Jazz had the best team on paper, but they did not have number 23. And
Bruh.
you know what I'm saying? It's
bro, just think about it.
Yeah.
Without us having the whole Mahomes fanatic thing.
Yeah.
You thought the Chiefs were going to be here this year? You thought the Chiefs were going to be there last year? No. Yeah. No. Running game gone. Gone. Non-existent. You can just focus on passing. Still didn't stop him. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't got no prime time receiver. You go to Kelsey. He's older, obviously. But clutch. He kicks it in gear. Going into the end of the season, going into the playoffs. Defense shows up fourth quarter right when they need to.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they're getting all these sacks and causing pressure and things like that. Like, it's just when you look on that Eagles side, yes, I can go from pretty much top to bottom and go, yeah. Oh, they got even the backup. Yeah. But you don't have Mahomes. You don't have Andy Reid. You don't have Spags.
Right there, what I was about to say, Dave.
It's a difference, man.
Let's have that conversation real quick. He doesn't have the same amount of rings as Belichick, but they got to put more respect on Andy Reid's name, bro. Like, it's because there's going to be some stuff that happens in this game, a play or something that they're going to do during a game that is going to completely where the hell did that come from? And why were we not prepared for it? The first time they played against the Eagles lost that game because the defense didn't know how to respond to the motion. And it was a wrap. And they hadn't done that all season. So they literally, I've seen teams adjust at half, maybe adjust quarter to quarter. These cats adjust play to play. They'll go from one extreme to the next. I would not be surprised if you see Hopkins, DeAndre Hopkins out there and has a crazy game, and he ain't been affected all season. You got what's the other little buddy name there? Juju. These guys, he showed up.
Juju, is Hollywood back?
Hollywood's back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. All of a sudden, cats that you weren't even worried about, like, wait, what is happening right now?
who scored the touchdown that one year? Our boy, Tony.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
Tony,
they just come blue. He ain't even on the team. He ain't in the NFL. Like,
it's wild to see, man. It is wild to see. It's gonna be a great game. I hope it ain't no shenanigans. Last time we were in New Orleans, remember the blackout game? That was the 49ers and the Ravens, and that turned the tide for whatever reason. So hoping
Drake might win a blackout at halftime again.
Say again. We are gonna have a blackout at halftime. Yeah, we still having a blackout.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have a blackout at halftime, man. Before we get out of here, and I know this is the last game of the season, to Earl's point, a lot of sadness happening right now, but we won't be gone long because in just a few short months, we'll be back with our annual draft podcast, watchcast, 4 hours of covering the first round. It's going to be an exciting time, and let's go to the commercial real quick. Yes, April 24th, live on YouTube and wherever we stream to, man. We'll be up here cutting up for that first round. This is the first year I ain't gonna have nothing to say because we won't pick it to the 29th. So I'm just gonna be just monitoring.
I think you're okay.
Let
us live, okay?
I will be there with you, man. Special guest, call-ins.
Gary. I think you're okay. Yeah. Let us.
I mean, we need some stuff to keep us from getting injured, but other than that, yeah.
Nah, man, you're gonna find out in the first 10 to 15 minutes of that goddamn test if me and Earl are gonna finish it out with y'all. Just let it be known.
There's gonna be so many shots that night. It's gonna be so many shots. It's gonna be a lot to live up to. I mean, I still when I go back and play the montage and when they play Penix, and I still play the montage, and when Dave was like, "Oh," it was wild. It was like a moment. So let's see what kind of moment we're gonna have this year. It's gonna be interesting to say the least, man. But we appreciate you guys rocking with us all season. It has been fun, from Jay to Malik to folks' name I don't even know who's tapped in with us. George, everybody coming in. I'm sorry, George, man, but the Cowboys are the Cowboys, and Dak has a crazy cap number next season. That's insane. It's what it is. But again, we want you guys to be safe. Enjoy the game today. There's still all types of analysts happening for like the next 6 hours. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Man, y'all got anything for y'all roll out? Any tags? You want to plug anything?
Dave, if you swinging through DC at any point, go by Aslan Beer. They got this one right here called How Now Brown Cow.
Oh, I like that.
It's milk stout with peanut butter and chocolate flavors, man. It's on point.
All right. Yeah. All right. Now we're talking.
I love it, guys. Enjoy yourselves, man. Enjoy, don't bet all your money away, Earl. I'm just saying. Don't. Yeah. New episode of the Hot Seat Podcast, episode 163. You Hear an Echo is out now, streaming on all of your podcast platforms, wherever you get your favorite podcast place. Have a good day, guys.
Real quick. Blessings to the Lawrence family, Uncle Derek.
Yes.
We're gonna miss you, man. And that's about it.
Appreciate you guys, man. Love.